Welcome back to another Mac Logo iRacing video, and this is the lovely International Raceway of Sebring in the USA. I really love this track. I love the American race tracks because they're actually old, bumpy, kind of natural. They've just got this flair, and it's GT racing. So here I was driving to the wall because
safety car in the left column.
I, at the time, forgot to activate the fuel calculator and had to fiddle around and almost miss a start.
Heads up, get ready.
But luckily, I kind of was able to accelerate in the exact right situation or time to get past the leader on the first corner.
Go! 2 litres remaining.
I was qualified second here. I did a lot of practice because I really love this track. It's fun to drive. It's a challenging racetrack. It's slippery. There is these this kind of old, I think it's Second World War plates. I think it used to be an airfield at some time, and it's not the same like the new racetracks, which with all the same grounds. So it's really bumpy, and also there's corners that are quite hard where you have to brake full speed and turn in. It's challenging, and I really love it for that. Very close action. Also, this split was 1,350 around SOF, that's Rainbow Field, and I'm at almost 1,400 something. So yeah, and I'm just trying to get ahead a little bit, but unfortunately I know let's say the top 5 are all almost the same fast, or there's some quick, so it all comes down to errors. And I think the guy that is behind me, I knew he's faster and he will catch me at some time. I won't put up a big fight because I think I would let him pass and then try to follow him, and just maybe get a second place. And also, if I'm leading, I'm burning a lot of fuel, which of course at the end is time that you lose in pit stops, where you have to refuel more and people can jump ahead of me. The Lambo is quite good when it comes to that, so I think I can. I should be able to keep up as long as I don't have to lead the pack. And let's see. So my tactic was just go as fast as I can, not overdrive it too much. If I make a mistake, I will let this guy pass.
The gap's now 0.26.
But we'll see. I mean, at the beginning, it's also a little bit getting into the rhythm. And on this track, the Audi LMS R8 and the McLaren are actually, especially the McLaren, are the fastest cars, but they're also not that easy to drive. The Lambo is a little bit easier to drive than the Audi. It has not quite as aggressive turn-in. It's a little bit more stable, but similar to drive. I've also tried the Audi. And I love the Lambo.
Okay, Dave, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth,
and I think
no mistakes.
At my at this level, I can keep up. The car doesn't is not such a big difference as it is in the top splits. Because at the end, you just have to be consistent and keep the car on the track to have a good result. And that's more than actually difficult on this track, especially with drivers that are not so experienced like myself. But it's just awesome fun. These races are very close. You can have some nice good duels. It's also until now very fair driving. Yeah, just pure fun. And there's another that I'm still in P1, but the guy is 0.3 behind me, so I guess he'll attack anytime. This corner, this is very hard because it's bumpy, and if you're going too fast, the rear end can overtake you, and that just basically can destroy the car. And here on this, the turn-in is a little bit hard. You have to slightly brake and trail into here, and it doesn't look like that, but this corner is really hard to learn and to get right, and also to consistently hit and not turn in. the car likes to get light at the end if you brake too hard, and it will turn into the wall on the left side, and that's yeah, basically the race is over if you hit the wall hard enough. But yeah, that's why I put in a lot of practice laps, just to get kind of a consistency and to enjoy the races when I do them. This is actually the second race. I did one yesterday already, the first one, and I was actually I really screwed up qualifying. I had 2 off tracks, so I had 0. I had to start on P27, but I still managed to get up to around P9, and then I actually had an accident, but could keep up at P12. So 27 to
0.7.
Yeah, P27 to P12 is still okay. I had positive I rating and a great experience, and really driving through the whole field. That was fun. But of course, today I'm trying to get a good result by nailing the qualifying with P2. It was my fastest time so far. That was below the 2:00 something. I was so far almost at 2:01. Which is also good for me. I was really happy.
Defend your position.
So this was just, I thought, I'll just try to push and look how far I can get in front. Anytime this guy will catch me up if I do a slight mistake, or just if I'm slower. I guess he's just a more experienced driver, but that's okay. We'll do our best. And see, this track, it's also very tricky you have to hit a lot of apexes that are far away, or that you have to kind of feel and know where they are to hit them. I mean, I'm not by far not perfect, by far not a good driver that knows the track really. I'm just for my rating or skill, I'm just trying and enjoying it. So yeah. A little bit. Yeah, it was okay. Thought I was a little bit wide, but so far very good. No incidents, and he's close enough. And I'm trying to kind of not, or just ready to maybe defend, but not too much. I'll let him pass if he's clearly fast, or he places his car in the inside or something, because I don't want to crash. I just want to have a good race, and if he leads, then I can follow, or I try to follow in the draft, and just try to reserve a little bit fuel. And here I go wide, and that was that error that I said, and now I'm keeping outside to have him pass. And at the same time also the other guys are pulling up, and I don't want to lose against these guys, because I think I'm slightly faster than them. It depends now. I will stay outside, leave him room, but still, stay safe and accelerate. And we managed here to keep him behind. That was fair driving also from him, and that's the thing that I like in iRacing. If people, in the good splits, they respect each other, and can I really have nice races, hard races also with fighting and everything, but it's very nice that people, when you leave people room, that they can drive, that they can keep their line, and also you have space to actually drive and are not kind of punted or so. And so I thought at this time, the guys behind, they shouldn't actually be faster, but in the draft it's actually easier to catch up. That they are not that consistent and fast as this guy here in the Audi. But still, there's one guy behind me.
Don't let this guy distract you.
In the AMG, that is, I think that I can keep up, and that it also showed later on. I went a little bit too wide on this corner. But nothing where we lost massively in this heat. and it's about 12 minutes into the race. I'm on the position that I would like to finish, and I'm already now thought, yeah, I'm just keeping it consistent. I will try to use the draft from the guy from the leader in front, try to get closer. That was the goal. Maybe get into 1 second behind him. That I can.
The gap's now 0.8.
That I can use the draft and I can start saving a little bit of fuel. Or maybe you'll also make a slight mistake and I can pull nearer. And here on the inside it's very bumpy, but that's also there. It's fun, and you see these different plates that are on the ground, which is making the car shake and move, and it's extra challenging to drive here. But that's exactly the fun about this track. It's just a little bit of not unpredictable, but a little bit. A factor that you have to take into account. And as far as my concern, a lot of the US racetracks like Road Atlanta, Sebring, Road America, or such tracks, they just have this charm, this kind of old racetracks. They're special, and they have these elevations. They go up and down, similar to our European like Spa or the Nordschleife, for example. These are the tracks that I really love. They're fun to drive. Also, maybe also some bridge tracks like let's say Alton Park was also fun, but it's of course it's much smaller. There's not that much room to overtake, while these tracks are large and are huge, and there are a lot of passages where you are really fast, but there are also smaller passages or smaller parts where maybe with chicanes or so. Or here the different parts of the track with different asphalt or different just parts that you drive. It just makes it much more fun for me to drive, and I think a track that is more challenging to learn, it's just much more fun at the end if you master it, if you have a good rate, if you can keep it clean over 40 minutes, and that's a challenge. A good thing also on these tracks is even if you're not the fastest, even if you're just medium
Slow
average,
in, fast out. Keep the inside line covered.
as long as you keep it clean, don't make any mistakes, and kind of drive consistent, you'll also always have a good result, because there's a lot of drivers that crash on these tracks. There's a lot of mistakes happening. Also when overtaking or other duels. It's just about consistency. And now I'm feeling the pressure of the guy behind, and also the guy in front makes a mistake. I'm feeling the pressure, so I kind of have to defend. I don't want to have another guy overtake me.
0.49.
Even so, David, that is behind me in the AMG, was really fast, also in the draft. Using the slipstream, he was able to be consistent and fast, and he's now also pulling up, so I kind of have to try to stay behind the leader, not lose him, and at the same time also not have this guy attack me, because if he starts attacking, if he starts to go for moves, then I will lose the leader in front, because I have to defend and I will get slower, which actually I don't want. But maybe I'm not sure what the tactics of this guy is. If he tries to attack me, then we will lose the leader if the leader is consistently, because he'll drive away. We'll lose the pace while fighting. And as you can see here,
Well done,
the
Dave.
cars,
This is
it's
terrific.
really bumpy.
Exactly what we came here for. That's 20 minutes
And
to
the
go.
cars are jumping, and he's taking certain parts of this track cautiously, and this this is what I did now. I lifted, I went off throttle and let the car actually roll. That is while I was in the draft. That is I'm trying to reserve a little bit of fuel, save fuel. That while I'm in draft. So when we get back into the pits for the mandatory stop, I will have maybe 1 liters at the end if I can save enough, maybe 2 liters. The guy's going for a move in the inside. He pulls back at the end. Go a little bit right. Now it's really close. But what I wanted to say is, if I can lift sometimes in these high-speed passages, that's when you burn the most fuels, and you just cast behind the car. Then you actually save fuel, and if you can save maybe 1 liter or maybe 2 liters or so, that's can already be enough. You can jump a position, or you can actually enlarge your gap that you have, because you are just quicker to refuel.
All right, Dave. Hold your nerve. Just keep it smooth. No mistakes.
No mistakes is easier said than done. I mean, big mistakes, yeah, can be avoided, but sometimes, or just these slight small mistakes when somebody's chasing you and there's pressure, it's kind of challenging to to keep focused and to just do your laps as fast as possible. And I keep it to the insides. I will go here, go a little bit wide, and this is very dangerous. If you get onto the gravel on that side, then you can spin or you can lose a lot of positions, because normally you have to completely go off throttle to rejoin, and it's a car that is not handling grass or gravel or something like that well. The Lambo or the Audi or also the McLaren can easily spin. I think even more than let's say a Ferrari, an AMG or a BMW. Just by nature. But on the other side, the on power and off power steering is normally a little bit higher. You have more turn in a Lamborghini, even more in a Audi and in a McLaren. Just a little bit different to drive. But also something very interesting in the game, the differences, but still cars kind of, or in the low splits, cars are kind of near together. So really fun to
The
drive.
gap ahead is now 0.5.
And Lamborghini, from what I like about this, the sounds, it's just it's the same engine as the R8, the Audi engine, the V10, but it has these downshift pops that you hear from outside, and it's just awesome. I just love it for that. Just so, from that point, it's the best sounding car, and that's why I also enjoy to drive it. I've got now. I'm maybe 0.2 of a second in front of the AMG, so I guess he will try to attack. He's already showing himself that is to make me nervous, that I make mistakes, that I maybe fall back. It's tactics, and I try to avoid it, but the pressure just somehow gets you if somebody is close to your rear that long. And he's better on the brakes, especially in this turning. My brakes are a little bit conservative, set up. But that's just the way I like to have this car.
Okay, Dave.
The setup's
15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
And he's attacking also. That's why I'm covering the inside. This makes me slower. So we lose to the car in front and I'm not able to drive away. But yeah, that's just a fight.
Make him do all the work. Focus on your exits.
That is when he wants to pass. Then that is just, he needs to come here, and that will slow us both down. But if that's what he wants, then I won't let this guy pass easily. I try my best here because I want this position. I think I will lose at the end if I let this guy in front. He won't be consistently faster. He's now faster when he's behind me because he can use the draft and everything. Now he's on the inside, and it's now a race. And I think he hasn't got a high downforce. So I'm staying on the outside here, leaving the room, and also trying to get a good exit. And just not letting him pull by, because this part of the track, I know where to turn in, and we get the inside and in front. He has to pull back, or he had to pull back. So if he's not clearly faster, I won't let him pass. This is cool. We both left each other's more than enough space. That's what is very fair, I think, from both drivers. So no danger of a crash or so. And this is also kind of tactics. If you, I kind of know this track a little bit because I practiced a lot on it. I mean, for a beginner, I know it. And I can drive different lines, and that is something that I think is important, that you know, if you are pushed off the line, that you can still maintain kind of speed, and not have somebody, you know, or that you turn. A lot of people, when they get off their line, they are in danger of spinning the car. Here I didn't drive very well, that's why he could catch up very fast.
Looks like P4 has binned it in tower.
And this is also no place to overtake because it's just too narrow. Also, I didn't hit this correctly, but let's see. And so I'm not trying to block, I'm not pulling over. I thought here when he wants to go in, when he's faster he can, but he didn't. He just showed that he would attack. And he's on the inside, and I was kind of
okay, Dave, stay close, wait for him to make a mistake.
And I just saw that he's pulling on the inside. Now this is also another one. I leave him space. See, I left him space, and that is what cost me actually time. I thought he would dive. It was a fair drive, not a very aggressive driver, so he didn't dive in. I left him space. He would have gone for the inside. I would have let him inside to not crash. So I think this is both maybe a little bit too much respect. But at this stage of the race, yeah, we both didn't want to crash. We both want to complete the race. But on the same side, at the same time, I couldn't pull away there.
Keep your exit speeds up, stay smooth.
Because I drove safe, and he didn't dive, he didn't take any advantage, so we both just lost time with this maneuver. And I guess he could try to make an undercut, which means he could go earlier to the pits. Maybe he's also running on less fuel, and if he's doing an undercut, then that will help him, that he can afterwards go full speed again. I think, let's say if we're driving like this, we're both losing time. And for me, if I can drive freely, I'm much faster again. But yeah, you never know, because the guy behind, he's kind of catching up, but he's actually not fast enough to do anything.
Okay, Dave, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. You're the man. Stay on it.
and he went for the pits. That was exactly this. And this is not good because he's trying an undercut, which will. I'm not sure if he has, if he had already taken this into account and carried less fuel, which would be good because that would mean that's why I was also a little bit faster. At the same time, I can now drive freely. I'm not in a hustle. I just need to keep calm and get on the line again, get into the rhythm again, and not try to be chased by the next guy straight away. Which means I can now put in some good laps until I have to refuel, and kind of try to get a lead onto the guy when he's rejoining. At least that was
the guy behind's catching. The gap's now 0.8. They're faster than us into Christensen.
The danger that you always have in an undercut is you can also get into slower traffic, which maybe can be an issue if they don't let you pass. So getting into a slower traffic is actually worse than chasing somebody that is maybe on P2 or P3. So lose even more time, or you can get into an accident if the drivers are kind of careless, or just traffic always means more risk for an accident, I think. And I can actually lap faster than the guy behind if I put my things together. And I think he's keeping up because of the draft. I should be able, on the long term, I should be able to pull away maybe, or I hope so. That's what I thought. But I would have to put in some clean laps. But luckily, he also goes for pits, which means it's now me and the leader that are on the same lap, and I guess we'll go in at the same time. And for me, that's starting with a full tank with 6 liters as much as possible, and staying out as long as possible. So you have to refuel just a small amount, and you have a light car until the end. And that's what I'm actually going for in these VRS sprints. So far, I had the best results like this, but yeah, I'm a beginner. It's certainly also other ways of doing it better that more experienced drivers might have.
The gap in front
but
is
for me,
now
this works.
3.2.
And the guy in front didn't actually, or it just didn't seem to drive that fast. It's 3.2 seconds ahead, and I wasn't trying to clean either, so I guess he's just cruising, or he's actually easy ahead. I think he was quite confident about his speed in hindsight, and which of course is better, that you don't risk every lap with going full beans if you're not confident or not that secure to go full speeds. Or I mean, clearly we're going full speed up, but I just mean not going for max for hot lapping as fast as possible. I'm just trying to keep the speed up.
The leader's pitting now.
I brake a little bit early.
What's your speed limit in the pits?
Perfect.
Pit lane speed limit is 72 kilometers per hour. Engage limiter.
I lost maybe 2/10, 3/10 easily at the pit entry, or maybe more.
100 meters.
But that's fine. At this level, the
50 meters.
competitors aren't that fast yet, and you can see it actually afterwards in the time. Could have used the clutch here, but I didn't know when it would engage, so I would have gained a little bit. And if you look at the
That's 5 minutes to go. Come on, keep it together. We'll be on the podium
actually,
here.
my pit stop was faster, was 1 second faster than anybody else. The second fastest was the guy in front, and he was 1 second slower than me in pit stop. So that was the fuel saving, I guess, that I made. You know, a few times casting behind him when I was in the draft, and that means you have to refuel less, and the car will be out a little bit earlier. This was now 1 second that I could gain, even with the bad entry into the pits. But I was happy when I get out that the AMG didn't catch up. Kind of, I thought that he would have maybe a run, but I guess he got caught up in traffic, or maybe had an incident or something like that. Because at the same time, if he wouldn't have if he had to refuel more also, then, or had some mistake like the tire change or anything, that could also throw him back. We don't know, but he's not around anymore. So if I now look at the situation, the leader is in front. I'm not gonna catch him because, yeah, let's say he's just a better driver, which is okay. I'm trying my best to keep up, to just put in my laps. And I've got a gap of 10 seconds to the guy behind, and for me that was just okay. Let's drive safely. Let's bring P2 home. That's the main goal, and not do don't cause any accidents, and keep it clean as far as possible. I think at this time I was still at 0 incidents, which is great, especially on this track. And also here I went for a secure turn-in. It wasn't the maximum, or it could go further to the left, to the right, to the wall. But just trying to, you know, keep the pace, keep the pace up. Not super fast, but just yeah, cruise it good to the end. And I'm not sure if it was this, but I think one of these exits at that corner, I had a 1x incident because I had a slide off track, and that was very annoying. But I will show you why it was annoying at the end. But otherwise, everything clean.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
And so far, you know, I was at this time. I was just enjoying driving the Lambo, how the car handled. I was really enjoying the race. I just thought, yeah, now
I think P4's gone off in
we'll cruise it. We'll cruise it home. So around 11.8 seconds gap to P3, so that's easy. Without me doing any mistake, there's no chance of catching up that much. It would have to be 2 seconds faster every lap or more. Here also taking it a little bit more secure than before. By the way, I also use a new screen in this race. I've now changed from a 4K monitor to an ultra wide, to a Samsung Q9, and I have to say this really helped me a lot. It's much wider view that I've got. I can see the sides, and I can hit the apex. It's much easier on the here on the tracks, and here this was safe. The car already started to spin, but I was able to avoid the spin, and it was just a slight being unconcentrated slightly. So yeah, regarding the screen, I'm using an ultrawide with 240 Hertz, and this really makes it much better. Also, the funny thing is the resolution, or my PC is not the newest. I will upgrade to an Alienware, to a Risen with a 3080 as soon as I get it, but for now I'm using my old PC, and that's an i5 with a 1060 GTX card, a 6 GB card, but still with this setup it turns out around 100 to 120 frames, and together with this screen it's just much better. It's easier for me to drive, I can drive more consistent, and it's just much immersive. The view is like in a real race car. You can see much more, and you can aim for the apex and hit it, and this also made me more consistent. It's the first race, or at least Sebring is the first week that I'm using the new screen, and it's just so much better, really.
The track temperature is increasing.
I highly recommend to get a
Celsius.
proper screen, kind of a setup that it hasn't to be where it's super expensive, but something where you have enough FPS, enough hertz to both should be high, and something where you can see have a broad view, wide view. Oh yeah, this was the off track, exactly. Here I lost the 1x, which I meant before.
The gap in front is now 4.2 seconds.
And I'll show you at the end why it was actually very annoying to lose that 1x. But anyway, yeah, it was so far a really fun race. I enjoyed it very much, and it's now cruising the last few laps. And enjoying the nice view in Sebring. By the way, the race was, I think the race time was set to morning, so it's not that hot yet. I think the track temperature was 23 to 25 degrees. I think it went up during the race. It was 25 degrees. The qualification was still on 23 degrees. And you feel the differences in iRacing as warmer normally as the track gets, as slower it gets also, or in lap times, or a little bit less traction. So you cannot always compare lap times if the track condition, of course, are not the same. Again, just driving it nicely, consistent, or trying to stay consistent for the rest of the race.
Okay, Dave, you're gaining on the guy in front. The gap is 3.0 seconds.
And at this time, I knew that he's cruising. I guess he either I don't think that he's saving fuel, but I think he just he's now confident it's an easy win, and he's taking the pace out, same as myself. That's why I did push a little bit. I just tried to get a little bit nearer to see if I would get that near that I could maybe get into distance of, you never know if he crashes, if he does a mistake to benefit. Can never take into out through that something happens, and if you're near, then you can maybe gain a position from a mistake. But I guess, yeah, nothing will probably happen. He was just very consistent, did not make any big mistake, just during the whole race, had no incidents as far as I know. So clearly a well-deserved winner of this race.
The gap behind is now 9.1.
And this was the white flag. This is the last lap. The gap to the guy behind is 12 seconds, so a little bit more than before. There's actually nothing where there should no changes to be expected anymore, except if we make a mistake. But yeah, it shouldn't happen. And this car is just super fun. I love the downshift, just the noise it makes. It's just awesome.
The gap ahead is now 3.2 seconds.
So just as about half, no, even less, just the last part of the track that we need to get in. Back here you can actually easily get an off track or a slow down if you hit too much of that curb and go to the inside. And now we just need to hit that last curb, the last corner. And then onto the straights. So no risk here anymore. So that bump is really nasty there. The bump's near the apex. And I was so happy I started flashing like mad. But this was it. P2. Very happy with this result. I think so far this was my best race, the most consistent one in iRacing so far. I was car 6, it was place 02 of 28, and the SOF was 1342, which was nice. This was also a really nice gain.
P3's gone off in turn 1.
This was a really nice gain. I think my rating now went up to 1512. There was plus 84, plus safety rating, and this is now here where it hits me. It went up by 0.22, and if I didn't have that incident, I would have now been a A driver. So, but we'll get the A license. Anyway, B or A is the same for me. I'm racing VRS, and that's the thing I do. So, thank you very much for staying with me and watching this clip, I hope. Have a nice day, stay safe, bye bye.